Why, hello there, I'm Professor Joel, and welcome to another episode of Planet Scooby Reviews. Today we are covering Go Away, Ghost Ship, which is episode number 14 of the first season of Scooby-Doo Where Are You, and it originally aired on December 13, 1969. This episode sees the gang hitting the high seas where they are investigating a ghostly pirate ship where this ship is stealing or raiding freighters that are sailing nearby. And in this episode, for some trivia, this is the first time we see Skull Island, and this island appears later on in episodes like The Creepy Case of Old Iron Face. We also discover that Shaggy doesn't use soap very often, which is maybe why Freddy always wants to split up. Go Away, Ghost Ship is fondly remembered for having the main villain being the Ghost of Redbeard, as well as taking place mostly on a creepy pirate ship. But does this episode still hold up today? Let's find out. The episode begins with a large freighter ship sailing into the fog. The captain is looking out upon the sea with his binoculars and sees a ghost ship. In fear, he exclaims, "The Ghost of Redbeard," as Redbeard the pirate looks back at him and laughs like a maniac. We then cut to the gang inside the malt shop. Freddy is reading a newspaper and is engaged about a story about how the third freighter this week has gone missing.
Huh? What happened?
Hey, what happened?
C.L. Magnus, owner of the shipping line, claims it's the Ghost of Redbeard the pirate seeking revenge. The pirate is causing so much trouble that Magnus claims to be going bankrupt.
C.L. Magnus, owner of shipping line, claims it's the Ghost of Redbeard the pirate seeking revenge. Poor Mr. Magnus. First he's on the verge of going out of business, now this ghost pirate shows up.
The gang want to know why the pirate wants revenge, so they drive to Magnus's penthouse. A troublesome but creepy butler refuses to let them enter, but after some clever disguises, the gang manage to sneak in to hear Magnus's story. Mr. Magnus tells them that his ancestors brought the pirate to justice 300 years ago, and that's why the pirate ghost wants revenge.
So you see, it was over 300 years ago that Redbeard the pirate was the terror of the seven seas. When my ancestors brought him to justice, he vowed to return and avenge himself.
Freddy promises to help and schemes up a plan. Using a speedboat, the gang make their way to a freighter owned by Magnus. Heading into a fog bank, they cue up a tape recorder where they play the sound of a freighter foghorn. Their plan works and the pirate ship heads towards them. Unfortunately, the plan worked too well as the ghost ship rams into their speedboat, sinking it and ruining Daphne's hairdo. The gang are separated. However, they all manage to scramble aboard the ghost ship. Scooby and Shaggy are the first to get aboard, and they run into the pirate fairly fast as he appears in a fake picture. A floating pirate sword then corners Scooby and Shaggy in a room where they come face to face with the ghost pirate and his two henchmen.
For a ghost ship, there sure aren't many ghosts around.
Freddy, Daphne, and Velma hear the ghost pirate laughing and follow the ghost into a storage room where they encounter tubs of dry ice. Redbeard ends up locking them in the room, so they are captured as well. We hook back up with Scooby and Shaggy, who cook for Redbeard in order to save their lives. The two make a terrible ghost pirate stew that Redbeard forces them to eat. Since they put a lot of soap in the stew, the two blow bubbles, allowing them to escape under the cover of the bubbles. Our cowardly pair manage to evade the ghost pirate's henchmen using a pirate hat made out of paper and Shaggy's impersonation skills where he laughs like the ghost pirate Redbeard. And eventually they hide under a tub, and as they're hiding, they're moving around the ship and fall back into the sea. Fortunately, the tub floats and they follow the ghost ship into a secret cove at Skull Island. I'm a little confused how this cove is a secret as the cave they go into is carved out to look like a skull. I think that is about as obvious as you can get. And I assume it's how Skull Island got its name, but whatever. Simpler times, I guess. Inside the cave, Freddy, Velma, and Daphne are shackled up, but Freddy's MacGyver skills allow them to escape. They go deeper in the tunnel where they meet up with Shaggy and Scooby. Freddy notices Shaggy's paper pirate hat is the ship's manifest, which is a paper that explains the dates that Magnus's ships are sailing, along with the value of the contents aboard. Confronted by 4 exits, they head into the tunnel that has tire tracks on the ground. The tracks come to a dead end where they find a jack-in-a-box pirate skull who is in a treasure chest, and the pirate skull jumps out at them and asks for the password. The skull actually looks really creepy, but it's just a skull with a microphone and a speaker on it.
What's the password, you swabs?
Shaggy comes up with the password, which is yum 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 in a liverwurst a la mode. The tunnel opens up into a warehouse room full of crates, and the gang are confronted by Redbeard, who traps them inside. Freddy manages to capture the pirate henchmen using some makeshift bow and arrows, where the arrows are made out of toilet plungers. Scooby and Shaggy are confronted by the floating sword, but find a crate full of Scooby snacks where they get some instant courage. Using various implements found in the warehouse, Scooby and Shaggy manage to eventually capture the ghost pirate and a pile of tires with the help of an out-of-control jackhammer. The authorities show up and Velma unmasks Redbeard, who turns out to be Mr. Magnus.
Now, let's see whose glowing phosphorus face Redbeard really is.
Mr. Magnus!
But who are the other two?
Hired henchman, I guess.
Freddy explains that Magnus was about to lose his freighter line unless he came up with a lot of money. Daphne chirps in that the easiest way to do this was to hijack his own ships and sell the cargo.
Mr. Magnus was just about to lose his steamship line unless he came up with a lot of money.
And what easier way than to hijack your own ships and sell the cargo?
The ghost sword was operated by some wires, and the mysterious fog was created by dry ice.
Yes, but where did that mysterious fog come from?
Simple, like dry ice.
With another mystery solved, the gang sail off to find their next mystery. I give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. This is classic Scooby-Doo. It's a very enjoyable episode. I just didn't think they hit all the notes for me that I wanted or expected. I did like Redbeard the Pirate. I liked it when he did the throat slitting scenes like that. I thought that was really funny and cool, and I enjoyed that, and I wanted more of that, but instead we just got kind of Redbeard laughing. I did enjoy the dinner scene where Scooby and Shaggy have to cook Redbeard his ghost pirate soup. That was super funny. And I absolutely loved the skull on the spinal cord in the treasure chest in the cave saying, "What's the password?" I thought that was super cool and creepy. But other than that, the henchmen were kind of boring. The floating sword really didn't do much for me. And I just wish they did more with the ghost pirate and fleshed out his personality a little more. That's why I give this a 7.5 out of 10. Still, love this episode, and I think I'm kind of burnt out on this episode too, which is maybe why I rank it a little lower than some other people might. I saw this episode a lot growing up. It was always the episode they showed on TV whenever I caught it. So yeah, I'm just a little burnt out on it maybe, and if I hadn't seen it as much, I might rank it a little higher. Anyway, that wraps up another mystery. Next week, I'll be doing my final episode of season 1, and that is called That Snow Ghost. After that, I'll be taking a break, and I'll return in mid to late January. I'll start off with my complete ranking of season 1 of Scooby-Doo Where Are You, where I rank the episodes, my personal ranking, and I'll factor into how other fans feel, and I'll kind of base that on likes and views as well of my videos, as well as polls I've seen on Reddit or other websites. So if there's an episode you love, make sure you like it in one of my reviews of season 1 so it gets counted in. And yeah, that's about it. I want to thank everyone for their likes and views and subscribes. I'm at like 100 subscribers now, which is just amazing. I never thought I'd hit that number. And that's great. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Anyway, until next week, stay spooky.
So you see, it was over 300 years ago that Redbeard the Pirate was the terror of the 7 seas. When my ancestors brought him to justice, he vowed to return and avenge himself.
For a ghost ship, there sure aren't many ghosts around.